And welcome once again. I hope you guys are well and you're doing great. So today I trained shoulders. I wanted to change up my shoulder session really. So I started off with some seated barbell shoulder press. And I remember back a long time ago, maybe when I did my 5x5 strength training program. I remember afterwards it was that strong that I did manage to do like 70 kilograms for a good set of 8 reps. You know what I mean? That was military press, standing press. However, my top set as I was set there, which I think you should be stronger when you're set, on the bench. I managed to get about 4 or 5 reps if I can remember. And I was thinking to myself, how crazy is that? Like, I've lost strength over the years. I think then I must have weighed about, I'd say about 80, 82, 83 kilograms, so to say. And then now I weigh about 100 kilograms and I can barely, get past that, even just set down. You know what I mean? I feel like set down is easier than stood up. Although maybe you can use a bit of your leg drive actually, yeah. But I think set down is a little bit easier. It's crazy, right? It was just something that I was thinking about as I was, shoulder pressing, thinking, damn, I'm weak. So anyway, it's all right. I'm not weak, but you know what I mean. It's comparing to my previous self. So after that, I then went over and supersetted some side raises. Again, I didn't want to do my giant set like I normally do. The side raise, front raise, and cleaner press. I didn't want to do that today. I don't know why. I just want to do that. I just want to do something different. I want to get some heavy side raise in there. So I supersetted that with some reverse bench press. The only reason why I did reverse bench press was to, get the tricep going. So I think it's a really good tricep exercise that I've got a good connection when I do reverse bench press rather than I do close grip bench press. You know what I mean? So I like that. I get a good connection with the triceps and I get a good pump in the arms too. So yeah, I do believe I did a drop set at the end. I think my last set I did, 17.5 kilograms for 12 reps. And then I did 100 kilograms again for about 7 reps or so. 7 reps. And then I did a drop set. I just took the 220s off, and then I just went all out on the last one. The arms felt good. Again, my biceps are really, really pumped. they felt used a couple of days after them rows. They're still hurting now, especially in the joints per ear, just opposite the opposite side of in your ligaments, where your bicep insets to your forearms, it really hurts in there. You will know when you do a lot of biceps the next day. So yeah, then after that, I then went over and did some rear delt on the machine. I really love that machine. I can get a good connection with my rear delt. And then supersetted that again with some seated tricep dip machine. And I went for sets of 10. I think I did about 3 sets of that altogether. Then after that, I just did some face pulls and then some tricep extension. And that was the workout of the day. And I was happy with that. It wasn't a hard session. It wasn't a crazy session. Just what I need, I think. I think I need just to chill out a little bit and then gather my thoughts together. Then go over and attack it again. I need to regroup, and find my path, my path in these gains. I will still train my legs with Amy at some point. I will ask her if, we will still, I'm not saying I'm not going to train legs with her again. No. I think it's good, but I just need to find my space. I need to find my, my head game. I've been listening to quite a few, motivational takes. There was this story on YouTube of this, they were saying about every boxer, when he walks into the ring, it says the fight itself is not really the main, the hardest thing. It's the walk from the changing room. It's like getting gloved up and then putting your gloves on and then hearing the music go and then walking up through the crowd, through the masses, knowing that I'm going to get into that ring and there's a high chance that I'm going to get hurt, I'm going to get battered, and it's going to be terrible, horrible, and uncomfortable. It says that is the hardest walk ever. And he was talking about, so how do you overcome, so the interviewer on the podcast was telling, how do you overcome that? Do you train for that? Is there a thing for that? He goes, well, to be honest with you, you could train for it, but it's just within you. Like you don't want to back down. You don't want to, you don't want to fail then, because if you fail to walk, it means that you're giving up on everything. But he says it is the hardest thing to do. He says once the fight and the ring goes, he says it's just lights out. So it's like, it's the preparation before you go, right? Before you go in. And it's a common thing. I thought it was just me, but actually, like, if these professional fighters are going through the same thing, so it's only normal that I'm feeling the way I am. It's not like, I'm trying to make excuses. And he even went on to say, like, he went to train with some, I don't even know the name of this boxer, right? I should have been listening properly. He said he went to train with some fighters in Russia, and the Russians are crazy, right? And he says he was sparring, right? And then he was sparring with a heavyweight. He's a lightweight boxer. He was a heavyweight boxer he was sparring with. And he said, like, they were going to spar. He was working on technique stuff. But apparently this Russian was going hell for leather with him, you know what I mean? And then in the first round, he managed to survive. But then in the second round, he knocked him out. And at that point, he thought, well, I should give up, you know what I mean? And apparently his dad was there and his coaches were there and things like that. And to him, he said, like, if I could just give it up and gone home and just say, look, let me gather my thoughts and come back tomorrow and do it. But then he was having a self-talk type thing in his head. You know what I mean? Like, you can't give up now. If you give up now, then it means you're a failure. Then it means, like, he was saying all of these horrible things to him in that moment. So apparently he got up. He's going to get battered anyway, but he got up and says, look, I'm going to go all the way to make sure that I do 3 rounds with this guy. He says, I never landed a punch in his face. I just took the beating, but I wasn't not going to not finish. And that gave me a little bit of, like, it's normal, you know what I mean? I'm nowhere near like professional level. I'm nowhere near like, professional. But if those top guys can feel very much the same, it just means it's normal for me to feel the way I feel now about about these legs and training and stuff. So I think I'm just going through a patch. You know what I mean? I'm just going through a patch. And once I come out the other side, I should be all right. Anyway, guys, on that bombshell, I will let you enjoy your day. And thank you so much for the comments from yesterday's video on who I am. And that's quite... and the messages too. That's quite, that's quite nice. It makes me, not feel like I'm all alone, running away from these gains. Although sometimes I come out as motivating, but sometimes I'm actually wanting some encouragement because I'm only human, ain't I? So, and we're all humans. We need each other to carry on. All right. I'm going to catch you all on the next one. You guys have a good day and a good evening and take care. Yeah.